I think in the future, prefabrication will play an important role because we need to gain more information about the material that we use in the building process for it to be fully transparent, calculable, and deconstructible. So we have to get better understanding of our construction processes, assembly processes for later disassembly, if we want to be credible in terms of full transparency of calculation of embodied CO2, embodied energy, these kind of topics. And the use of steel, I think the use of steel is still legitimate. I think we have to be smart where we use timber, where we use concrete, where we use steel. It shouldn't be in the recent history. The use of concrete was more the automatic decision in terms of economic calculations, things like that. So I think steel absolutely has its legitimacy if we use it correctly and for the applications where steel has the best performance. I truly believe that timber should play an important role in the future of construction. But if we talk about large spans, if we talk about other performance advantages of steel, steel is absolutely part of the game. Well, there is definitely advantages of off-site construction as long as they do not limit the architect's creativity. So if it results in modular systems that only have very rigid conditions, then I am not a friend of those solutions. So we as architects, we expect from the building industry to provide us with flexible solutions that do not compromise our creativity. So many times modular approaches, they result in very rigid structures, so that's where I'm a little bit critical, and I really expect from the suppliers to provide us with solutions that have great flexibility. Well, I don't think it's one project that I can name that really was such a challenge. We like those challenges. We have built a project in Saudi Arabia that has a facade made of hundreds of kilometers of prefabricated 4-inch tubular stainless steel wrapped around an organic shape. That technologically was an enormous effort. But we had a lot of capacities dealing with three-dimensional geometry in the office. We had good consultants and we had good companies, so we were able to deliver. So it's really just a matter of, are you willing to take the task to confront yourself with these challenges. So, but on another level, I think that BIM, Building Information Modeling, is also posing a certain challenge to us architects, as I feel that this development and distribution of libraries of building elements actually limits creativity in the design process. So I appreciate when we get the opportunity to use three-dimensional planning and documentation, but I dislike, and this is the technological tendency in BIM, I dislike if we get provided solutions that we are supposed to use. I think it will be very important. I mean, there's two functional aspects that green roofs are addressing. The one is delay of water runoff, and the second one is the mitigation of heat effects. So these are both attributes that we will absolutely need to address in the future in our cities. So I think green roofs should more or less be the standard. If they are, I mean, there's there's only three options. Either you use the roof as usable space, which can be easily combined with a green roof, and the third one is photovoltaics. So we need to choose one of the three. Also, photovoltaics can very easily and successfully be combined with green roofs, actually improving the efficiency of photovoltaics because of the cooling that the green roofs provide to the photovoltaics. So from my opinion, green roofs are absolutely part of our built environment in the future. Yes, absolutely. There's two things that I would like to say. The biophilia is definitely a point. So bringing people closer to nature in the cities again definitely has psychological but also physiological effects on the people. And the second one is biodiversity. So in Switzerland and Austria, we use this terminology of biodiversity roof, where you actually intentionally place, for example, old timber on the roofs for insects to get their habitat.
Yeah. The brown roof.
I didn't actually know the term. So I like to get away from extensive green because I find it boring. So intensive is better, and biodiverse is even better. Yeah. I mean, I really think people need to get close again to insects. You know, they need to be part of our environment, and now you know that biodiversity is a big problem. So green roofs are definitely part of our future. Well, they are a condition. We need to have waterproof data for the whole construction process, all the value chain down to the first supplier, to have these numbers, because we can only be credible with these zero emission buildings if the calculations are thorough and waterproof. Otherwise, we're just greenwashing. So, and I don't like the idea of greenwashing. So we need the data. We need to be transparent about it. We need to also admit, for example, that there currently are a series of typologies where it is not possible to do zero emission buildings with the current technology. It's a question of region, because we have different solar data, we have different conditions. So in certain regions, certain typologies are possible to realize as zero emission buildings. Housing, for example, currently is not possible. So we need to improve technology, we need to challenge the industry and come up with even better solutions. We should not be satisfied with achievements that we have made over the last 5 years. We have to aim for more, and we have to then, in these conditions, of course, libraries in terms of basic data is absolutely required. So I'm not saying I'm against libraries in general. I'm just specific, conventional building element libraries are what I'm criticizing. Be passionate and don't think about buildings, think about architecture. It's about space and experience. It's about atmosphere and quality, not about a window and a floor and a ceiling. So this is what I engage, what I ask people to consider.